vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam. Pope Leo XIV was announced the new pope on May 8, 2025. The announcement was made by Cardinal Proto-Deacon Dominique Mamberti, following the conclave that elected Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost to be the 267th Bishop of Rome. I announce to you with great joy, we have a pope. It took the closed-door gathering of cardinals of the Church just 33 hours, 4 ballots, to select Prevost as the new leader of the Catholic Church. And there was white smoke that appeared above the Sistine Chapel, and the crowd, you'll recall, screamed with joy. Prevost had said yes to the selection and chose Leo in honor of the man who led the Church in the late 1800s until 1903. A man regarded as an advocate for modern thinking, and he advocated social needs of the time. A pope today is known by 9 different titles. Bishop of Rome is one of them. Supreme Pontiff is the most common. We call him Pope. It is a derivative of the Latin and Greek words that mean father. And there was no white smoke, no cheering crowd in the Vatican. The Vatican didn't exist when Peter was selected by Jesus Christ to be the first pope. Jesus said, "Upon this rock," the name Peter meant rock, "upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of the netherworld shall not prevail against it." What a moment. Peter and the rest of the disciples gathered around Jesus probably did not understand the significance of that event. Like many of the things Jesus said, it would take a while, divine wisdom, before the disciples would make any sense of it all. Jesus has designated one of them as the head apostle, president of the corporation, if you will. That wasn't unusual. All the disciples who were good Jews were familiar with the story we heard about Eliakim from the prophet Isaiah. In that case, God had handpicked the successor to Shebna, who God removed from his position as master of the palace. The selection of a pope, the designation of an heir, family control of a country, it all seems to us in a democracy that elects our leaders to be unusual. My first real experience of citizenship came long before I was old enough to vote. Civics was part of the curriculum of the Catholic school I attended. In the fall of 1960, our nation was in the throes of a presidential election. It pitted John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Richard Milhouse Nixon. My 7th grade teacher decided we would use that opportunity to study democracy in action. Sister asked me to represent JFK in our class mock election. We studied the issues, the economy, the communist threat that existed just off our shore in Cuba, the separation of church and state, which was represented by John Kennedy, and the success and failure of the Eisenhower administration, of which Nixon was vice president. I honestly don't remember who played Nixon in our mock election. My opponent in that election, though, and I presented a couple of speeches to the class over time, and we had a debate of sorts, and then we had an election, and Kennedy won. Kennedy won the general election, too. That was democracy. We may think we have the best system, but nations with a monarch or some variation think they have the best system too. It's still one big, beautiful world made by God. Jesus founded the church and named Peter to lead it. And then he said, I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Recall that God told Shebna, I will place the keys of the house of David on Eliakim's shoulder. When he opens, no one shall shut. When he shuts, no one shall open. Very similar words. It is one thing to start an organization and name its leader. It is quite another to invoke the power of God on that organization and give it the continuity that each pope has enjoyed in matters of faith and morals since Peter. Author Peter Kreeft said it best. Most of the Jews expected the Messiah to take political power and rule as a new King David and free Israel from the political tyranny of Rome, which was stealing away their incomes and their independence. But he came to free them from the spiritual tyranny of their true enemies, their sins, which were stealing away their souls and salvation. Jesus ran away from those who ran to him for the wrong reasons. He did not run for office. He ran from office. He had better things to do, a better kingdom to establish.